Hi everyone, welcome to part 2. Okay, Vichy has just played bishop g4, attacking the rook here at c8, and rook takes c4 is the best move available to black. Vichy isn't concerned with losing the knight here on h6 because here he has queen takes b3 to keep things level in terms of material, although black has just won a pawn, but white is still easily better and has the initiative here because the rook on c4 is attacked, and the best that black can do is rook takes e5, and after rook takes e5 play rook c1 check. And after king h2 there's bishop d6, which is the move that Vichy said he had to ensure didn't work when he was calculating this move bishop g4, and he came up with a continuation here that Fritz doesn't like, but that's because it will only be winning on the horizon. Now, it's an example of the horizon effect, the human judgment of a position being superior to that of an engine, and that moves f4, which results in connected passed pawns. The line that Fritz thought better was queen e3, and Anand did say that this was cleaner, more precise as a continuation. Best play goes g takes h6. If instead bishop takes e5, now queen takes e5, and white is easily winning at 7 pawns up. The knight is immune here. There's no queen takes h6 because of queen e8 mate, and black is helpless against that threat because the bishop here on g4 is stopping the rook from returning to the back rank to defend, and there are no helpful checks or anything like that black has at his disposal, and the only moves he can try to defend are crazy continuations like rook e1 in order to delay the mate, but of course it's totally losing. So g takes h6 is black's best hope here, but now comes queen takes c1, and after bishop takes e5 check, f4, bishop d6, and white should win this without much difficulty. But personally I think Vichy's continuation is a lot more creative and aesthetically pleasing. After f4 comes bishop takes e5 is essentially forced if black wants to have any hope at defending. Now f takes e5, and white has created decisive passed pawns, and being the exchange down is irrelevant really after g takes h6 because white has a pawn for the exchange, and in any case these pawns are going to be unstoppable before long. And g takes h6 incidentally is forced if black wants to capture the knight. If queen takes h6, now comes queen f3, threatening queen f8 mate and forcing g5, but now simply d6, and white has a huge advantage. So g takes h6 is the only way to take the knight. And here Vichy played queen e3, which is improving the position of his queen with tempo on the rook, and supporting the advance of these pawns and retaining the initiative. Kramnik continued with queen b1 in order to defend the rook here, and looking for counterplay with rook b1 check and some swindling chances, but Vichy continued calmly with d6. Playing instead queen takes h6 is a diabolical blunder after rook h1 check, forcing king g3, and now queen e1 check, again forcing king f4. The only other move is not king f4, that's what I showed you there. The only other move is king f3, and then rook f1 is mate. So king f4 is the only other move available to white, but now queen d2 check wins the white queen here at h6 and the game very easily. So queen takes h6 is out of the question, but d6 is completely winning for white. After rook h1 check, Vichy played king g3, another calm move, but he's seen clearly that black has no attack here. Kramnik tried rook e1, but now came queen f4 from Vichy, threatening mate with queen f8, so Kramnik answered with rook f1, but after bishop f3 he rightly resigned, as his game is totally lost. The evaluation is now at +8, and there are just too many threats for black to meet. So we've got a bit of time, we may as well have a replay with the threatened squares on. Yeah, it's well, Kramnik always plays Petrov's defense, so it's not surprising to see it, but it's always a bit disappointing because it's a fairly dull and uninspired opening. He used to play the Sveshnikov a lot, which was much more interesting, and he's developed a much sharper style of play in the last 18 months or so compared to his famous solidity, which is great to see. So maybe he'll go back to the Sveshnikov. It would be great to see that for a sharp variation of the Sicilian. It was in the Shirov-Nakamura game. But yeah, Petrov leads to these fairly balanced and equal positions, and that one of the great things about the Sicilian is that it creates imbalance, and that's what you really need in chess to get any kind of advantage. Usually you need imbalance in the position, and I think this is his only loss with the Petrov in the tournament, but a couple of the other players weren't doing too well with it, so hopefully if Black, continues to get bad results with it, it might become less popular at top level, but I doubt it because it's been around for so long. It's pretty much guaranteed to be there for good now. So yeah, that's that. But it was a great game from Vishy, who showed he's still got great talent. I mean, of course he does, but he hadn't really shown it as much as usual at this tournament. His second win, I mean, he's now fourth, so he's doing much better than he was. Yeah, I think he had 9 or maybe 10 consecutive wins. Oh, sorry, not wins, that'd be brilliant. He had consecutive draws he started the tournament with, but now he's got a couple of wins, so he's looking much better, so it's good to see anyway. And the combination there with rook takes c2 is brilliant conception. It's kind of moves that he's well known for playing. He's a renowned tactical genius. I mean, he didn't get to be world champion for nothing, by doing nothing. He's an absolute genius, and my money is definitely on him to beat Topalov in April. Be great to see. But this was a brilliant game anyway, that combination in particular, and the accuracy with which he played the opening, and yeah, every part of the game really. I mean, Kramnik had no hope after he made a couple of inaccurate moves in that knight b3 blunder. So tomorrow is the final round, and Carlsen is the sole leader with only one round to go, and he's half a point ahead of Shirov and Kramnik, who are tied for second place. And the final round is at 11:30 Greenwich Mean Time on Sunday, and Carlsen will play Caruana, Kramnik will play Karakin, and Shirov will play Dominguez to decide the winner of the tournament. So I hope to see you there, and I hope you enjoyed this game. Please leave any comments or thoughts. Thanks very much.